How's it going, everybody? It's Grant here, back with another video for you guys. Sorry it's been a minute. I get caught up in these phases where I lose productivity for a bit, right? I had some things that I needed to address over here, and just wanted to take a bit of time to analyze the trajectory of where things are going. And honestly, I did get a little bit lazy as well, which I'm going to talk about in this video. Again, first things first, this channel is going to continue to be dedicated to this style of videos, these self-improvement videos, but I've started a new channel as well that I'm going to start posting more on, called Everything Else with Koji Ayuni, which is my name or my other alias, whatever, that I go by aside from Grand, right? And this is going to be linked in the description to these videos, and it's going to be on my channel page, and I called it Everything Else because it's literally going to be just everything else that I'm interested in besides making this style of video. Games to movies, music, current events, maybe a little bit of that kind of stuff, maybe some like UFC or something, but basically I'll be talking about anything that I'm interested in without feeling like I'm losing the niche of the self-improvement stuff that I've been establishing with this channel, more or less. So I would say if you enjoy these videos and you just like to hear me talk about things, and maybe you're interested in hearing me talk about topics that aren't just self-improvement or like mindset oriented, and want something maybe like more lighthearted or just a different subject from time to time, check out that channel, Everything Else with Koji Ayuni, and then you can see how you like that. It's gonna be still not the priority as much as this channel is. This is going to be where I'm really putting most of my energy, but once I kind of get a better workflow and things, I'm going to be posting more there. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, in this video, I'm here today to talk about the real way to defeat the endless scrolling once and for all. And you know what I'm talking about, the dreaded endless scrolling plague that so many people in the modern world seem to be afflicted with these days, where you're not doing anything productive, you're not really doing anything at all, you're just sort of lazing about like a zombie with your phone in front of you, reading endless Reddit posts and watching random 8-second videos, things like that. And this sort of affliction has just taken over everyone's sort of minds and spirit, and it's not something that I have completely avoided myself. Actually, it's something that I've been completely entrenched by at some points. I've been completely destroyed by at some points, and it's something I've struggled with quite a bit. And I wish I could say that on this break that I took recently, that I spent all my time wisely doing all these different things, all these productive, amazing things. But I have to be honest with you guys. What happens is I just became less productive than ever when I took this time off. I racked up a record amount of endless scroll time, and I just drifted along day after day for a while there. And all the while it was in the back of my head that I really needed to get back to this channel. It was growing and people were enjoying it. People have been enjoying it, and for the last few weeks I neglected it. I neglected this gift that the universe was giving me in this channel and with you guys who tune in to hear me talk about this stuff. So I knew this was unacceptable. I knew I needed to devise a way to escape the binds of laziness that had sort of once again crept around me. And I want to talk to you guys today and sort of tell you what I did, and how I've once again defeated the endless scrolling demons, to the point where I'm back here and I'm posting another video for you guys. And it's gonna sound weird what I did, right? It's going to sound counterproductive, something you probably wouldn't hear mostly from any of these other self-improvement channels. What I did was, and what I'm doing at the moment, is I started playing more video games. And that's right, and I know it's going to sound a little bit crazy, but let me elaborate. Right, in this age of this TikTok and smartphones and all this stuff, the average attention span has just dwindled down to like that of like a goldfish. And I know you felt it, because I have as well, and I've experienced it. It's like countless hours spent in front of the phone. Just like it's like when you look at I don't know if you've ever seen those videos of like these elderly gambling people who are just like addicted to going to the casino, and they just pull the lever over and over again. It's like the rat in the experiment that just pulls the the lever for the next hit of dopamine, right? And what I'm getting at is that the phones and the social media apps that we use on them have smashed our attention span so badly, and that our ability to focus is so poor now that it's like hard to do anything that is not mindless scrolling to the next 8-second video or controversial tweet or the next profile on Tinder or whatever dating app you use. I want you to ask yourself honestly, like, have you noticed this? Because I've definitely noticed this in myself in the last couple of years. It's like back in the day, I couldn't wait to get off school or whatever because I knew I was going to like play more of that video game. My friends, we had planned to go somewhere, see this movie, or just hang out here and there. Just in general, there was this sense of like knowing what you wanted to do or knowing what you wanted to work on for the day. And now it seems like any time that's not spent working is just mindless time spent staring into the phone for just mindless nothingness, just reading random posts, this and that. It's like we've lost our ability to focus so badly that even playing a video game or through to completion, or like watching a movie or reading something, is getting harder and harder. Even these things that are like generally seen as almost like a high dopamine time wasting activity, even these things that we used to do like back in the day are getting harder and harder because they don't offer the same like instant gratification even that scrolling on your phone does. And I've noticed this in myself, right? I have these like giant catalogs of these unfinished games and movies and books that I've bought actually, and I haven't even played all the way through. And what I decided recently in my like throes of just laziness was like, you know what? I'm just going to actually go through my backlog of games and books, and I'm going to pick some things, and I am just going to start doing some things. I'm going to start seeing some things through to completion. And, these things might normally be considered a waste of time or whatever. I'm just going to give myself permission to do these things, and most importantly, see them through to completion, as I said. And now it's gotten to the point where here I am, back in front of the computer. I'm working on this video, and I want to kind of tell you my thoughts on how this happened and how, how this came to be, how I went from just lazing about on my phone to working myself back to being productive again. And I suppose the point of all this is you need to do whatever it takes. We need to do whatever it takes to detoxify ourselves from this endless scrolling dopamine. This is like, I'm more and more convinced that this is like a digital fentanyl that we're just all being pumped full of. And we need to get our attention spans back, guys. Because in a way, it is like coming off a drug, right? When you get your phone constantly and you're on it and you're getting updates and new videos and all this and that, all the HD porn, all the super high dopamine constant, flooding into your veins, you get almost like a high from it. And it's like you're way above baseline. And when you do try to do anything else, it all seems like so boring. And, when you do pull yourself away from it, it's like the things that were once very interesting to you are just now like, they don't have the same appeal. But if you can stay away from it for long enough, eventually you begin to find yourself sort of recovering, and you start to notice things like, reading a book or watching a movie or just cleaning your living space or doing some of these things that you've been putting off or whatever. They start to become more interesting again. And that's really it, guys. We need to stop the endless scrolling at all means, by all means necessary. And we just have to like detoxify ourselves from this drug. And I believe that the way to do this is to start to fill your time with other things and start to become more completion oriented. And I would find things that you enjoy doing, like whatever it is. Like if you really have some games you want to play that you can play through to completion, and you can get away from the phones, and you can say like, I focused on this game enough to actually beat it, I think at this point that might be worth doing. Find the things that you enjoy working on that will get you away from the phone. Whatever it is, like if you want to work on your house, or if you have one, or like just cleaning up your living space, crafting something, playing chess or drawing, anything that you enjoy that just isn't this mindless consumption, and just allow yourself to really get into. And I bet if you do this, you'll find yourself after a day or so, you're probably going to feel like agitated and bored and depressed. And after a while, that's just going to be normal, I think, because you've given yourself such a high level of stimulus for so long that now it's being taken away, right? And because it's really been acting like a drug on you for so long, you're going to feel these withdrawal effects. And you have to allow yourself to just have this detox period where you come down off of all this stuff and that we've just been pumping into ourselves for so long. It's been years and years at this point, maybe decades, right? And as that happens, you'll start to realize that you are regaining your body and your mind, and it's only through regaining your mind that you're really able to start to see the world clearly again. And that's when you're going to be able to start to make the good decisions again that'll take you to a better place and have, good effects for the long term in your life. So that's it, guys. I would just begin to identify those things that you would like to do that you've been putting off and that you can work on. And it doesn't have to be, these activities that are so big and daunting, but if you can just start picking some things and seeing them through to completion, that would be what I highly recommend. You may need to take baby steps. There may be some like things you want to do, but they just seem like very intense and uncomfortable compared to whatever you've been doing, browsing Reddit. And Reddit is terrible, by the way, but you almost scare yourself away because you have some of the stuff that you want to do, but it just seems so intense compared to what you've been doing. And so I would recommend with, starting off with some baby steps, right? Start off with something that would be a little bit easier. Like perhaps there's a book or even a movie that you've just always wanted to read or watch and you just haven't gotten around to it yet. Just start with that. And as you train yourself more and more to complete something and see it through, or to be like disciplined and be like, I'm going to play some games of chess every day, I think you'll start to almost build that discipline and that muscle in your brain. You'll start to be able to move on to the harder and more complex things that have been looming over you. So that's it for the video today, guys. I'd love to hear what you are all working on. What is your sort of go-to get away from the phone activity? Is it a game? Is it going to jiu-jitsu? Is it because you can go to jiu-jitsu, you can hit a workout and stuff, but that's still going to leave you with a lot of this other time. And that's why I recommend like finding something like a book or just finding something that you can get into. So let me know, what kind of stuff is it that you guys are working on right now that can kind of get you away from this mindless zombie scrolling? And please leave a comment and a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And it's good to talk with you guys again, and I'm going to continue to do so. So thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you next time, guys. Later.